You're listening to The Starting Block on TAVshow.com.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Okie dokie, roll 'em!
Nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change.
Hey, welcome to the Starting Block for another week. Big show as always. We've got Muted Word of the Week. We've got some story time. We've got the return of Forgotten Fruit of the Week. Cancel everything, lose a behaviour. All that and much, much more here on the block. Greeno here from the Starting Block. On behalf of the block, we just wanted to let you all know that we're all in this together. Well, except if you have coronavirus, then stay the fuck away. But in every other situation, we're in it together. To all of you on the front lines, those of you turning a footstool, a wok, and a pitchfork into a home gym, those of you who have given your housemates a mental breakdown because you decided lockdown was a great time to learn the keyboard and the only thing you can play after 8 weeks is chopsticks over and over and over again. And those of you who are homeschooling and are now understanding the question you used to harass your maths teacher with of, when the fuck are we ever going to need to know this in the real world, is coming back to bite you on the ass. Just remember, like a 1990s Australian sitcom, we're all in this together. The days may be long, but in times like this, you can rest assured we will be here to waste an hour of your week, Friday nights Australian time, at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. So take care, social distance, whack on a mask, and subscribe to our show on iTunes. It may not cure coronavirus, but it sure will help us with our rankings. And isn't that really the most important thing right now?
Public Radio's Loss is TAVshow.com's game. You're listening to The Starting Block.
Hey, welcome to The Starting Block for another week. You got myself, Greeno, joined by a man who's very disappointed by the lack of sweet mermaid tail at the local aquarium. My co-captain Dave, how are we, sir?
Very good, Greeno. Good evening to you, boys, girls, listenership, blockheads, millions around the world. Yep, been a pretty eventful week. Went out into the big world this week. Went into town, Greeno, as they say.
Yeah. When was the last time you would have been into town, sir? Quite a while, I imagine.
Oh, no. Look, to be fair, the last job I did, I was in town every fucking night. So the cachet kind of...
For social reasons.
For social reasons?
Yeah.
For social reasons,
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I can't even remember, honestly. I think we went to a gig a while ago, and it's probably 10 fucking years, maybe. For social reasons. Because if you go into the city all the time for work, you know what this is like. You used to go into the city for work. Now you work in your garage. But back in the day, you used to have to go in the city for work every day. And it's like, oh, why don't we go out into the city? And you're like, oh, again? You know, like, I'm there every day.
This is one of those things, like if someone says, oh, come to the city and it's a Friday night and you're already in there, sweet. Yeah, no dramas. That's a great idea. If you want to make me haul my ass in there on a Saturday, no, sorry, that ain't happening. Yeah. That's weekend time. That's non-city time. Yeah. Well, and also... Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was going to say, also, this goes back to our younger years where we always had a general issue with heading into the city. Because we're like, well, it was always like, well, why do we need to travel all the way to the city to sink, piss, and hit on chicks? Like, we can do that in our local vicinity. We don't need to travel on a train for an hour and a half, you know what I mean?
Now, the downside of that is, of course, you're going to be hitting on the local girls, which is...
Nice, Gary!
I bet beggars can't be choosers, Greeno.
Exactly, and you save on petty money, so it's all good.
True. Yeah, and it's only a short drive back to their place, at least.
Yeah.
You know, because if you hook up with a city girl, that means you're going to have to go in there every fucking weekend from now on. You can't have that. We can't afford that out here in the West.
Not with our budget.
Not with our budget. We're not going to be involved in that sort of caper, so... Yeah, you're much better off hitting on the local girls. But then, of course, if it does turn sour, which more than likely it will, because...
It happens, yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be long before she's rummaging through your pants pockets, looking for your wallet, looking for your credit card. You know, I'm just going to borrow your car, babe. And then she never comes back for 2 days out buying crack or something, you know. Yeah. So once you get past that phase, then, of course, it becomes a little bit awkward because there's really only 1 or 2 clubs out here where we live. And you know they're going to be there. You know, that's where you found them in the first place, right?
That has, like, not the crack bit and the stolen car bit, but that has legit happened at places we used to go where I picked up a girl and it was all fine, but then she turned a bit of a weirdo, so I'm like, I'm not calling her back. Yeah. But then she kept on frequenting the same venue every week.
Hoping to run into you again.
So... I spent my entire time dodging and weaving through that exact same venue till kind of she'd moved on and thought about something else. But yeah, awkward month. That's awkward month of having to duck and weave.
That's when you need to be a good friend and say to one of your, not your best mate, because I'm your best mate, you wouldn't do it to me, but let's say one of the lesser tier mates. You go, you know what? I know a great chick for you. Right?
Yeah, take one for the team.
She's too crazy for me, but she would suit you. She's great for you. And then, you just put her on the scent like a bloodhound. Put her on the scent of some new fresh meat, and then you'll be clear to run through the fields again, and you'll be fine.
Hey, doing we're all good. And then back to priority number 1. Even with all that, still not traveling in the city.
No, definitely not. Incidentally, a quick little story.
I like stories about pinatas.
My office branch, very, very kind of sitcom-y kind of situation this week, where the branch had some very good results against the other branches. Now, you know what a competitive fuck I am. Like, so I just, if whatever I'm in, I want to win it, you know, like, and you're the same. Like, I don't care much for branch rivalry. I don't care much for office versus office kind of competition. But if there is going to be a competition, well, I may as well win it.
Might as well win it.
Yeah. Right. So our branch had some amazing results apparently, and the big boss, decided to take the whole branch out for dinner and drinks tonight, Greeno, Friday night, out in Mascot in the city where our branch is. And, you know, putting the company credit card on the fucking tab, buying everyone a steak dinner, all you can eat, all you can drinks. And I said, no fucking thank you very much. Nice, Gary! No thanks, not interested. 2 reasons. Number 1 is, Greeno, I would have to travel into the office on a Friday, and that's not going to happen.
Could be kidding, right?
That's not going to happen. No. And 2 is, Greeno, I have a very strict policy when it comes to after-work drinks. Now, when I say that, I don't mean... Like, I'll accept kind of after-work drink situations if it's going to be with, like, 1 or 2 people that I really get on really well with and we understand each other, and it's just us, and it's like an off-site kind of situation. Like, no one else knows about it. It's not work-related in any way. I can proudly say... Yeah, it's just you and the boys, and you and the couple of guys that you really trust at work, or the couple of guys that you get on really well with, and you understand each other. You're all on the level, so to speak, Greeno. I can proudly say in my entire working life, which is now spanning the better part of 2.5 decades, I have not once ever attended any kind of management sanctioned work event outside of ours. Not one. Not one. And people always look at me funny when I say that, and they're like, you're such a sourpuss. And I'm like, oh, okay, we'll see on Monday. Because usually what I hear on Monday is countless reams of stories like, oh my God, that person got so fucking pissed and told that person off. That person was hitting on that one. That one had too many drinks and started flashing the whole bar. It was so fucking embarrassing. This one was being bitching about work, didn't know the boss was there, blah, 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 blah. They all start backstabbing each other for the rest of the week, probably 2 weeks, talking about stories about when they were all on the piss together. And I just sit back and smile and go, this is exactly why I don't fucking mix with you people.
Don't go to those things. Yeah, exactly.
That's right. I'm not interested. By the way, have you got that fucking finance report that we needed last week? Have you got that done yet?
Focus on that.
Have you sorted that invoicing statement out yet that we've been asking for 3 weeks? Because, while you've been out gallivanting and sinking piss and eating free steak dinners and then telling the boss off and getting punched in the mouth at a work party and then trying to suck someone's dick, the rest of us here have been waiting for this stuff to arrive. So can we please get back to the price of fish?
Nice, Gary!
By the way, I don't have any embarrassing work party stories. You know why? Because I don't fucking go to any.
I go to the thing. Yeah.
That's right.
And once again, it's that kind of balance, right? Because I'm torn here because I'm hearing free steak, free piss, and I'm like, well, that is tempting, but once again, you're right.
That's the dates that they use to get you in. Even my boss even said, "Oh, look, I don't normally go to these things, but I'm going to this one." And I said, "Why are you going for this one for?" And he's like, "Oh, because they're throwing the credit card. I'm going to take some fucking money out of the company."
Yeah, and that's the logic. Yeah,
but see, this is how they rope you in, mate. This is the siren song. This is the mirage in the desert. This is the genie in the fucking bottle. You know what I mean?
We had this convo November last year about my workplace, where they were making everyone come into the office for a day for some bullshit meeting.
Forced fun. It's lovely.
Forced fun. And they're like, and we're gonna come on, and we're gonna have drinks to entice people in. And I was like, I'll save my schooner. I'll buy my own schooner. It's fine. I'll have a schooner at home, and it'll save me the $25 in fucking train fares there and back and wasted hours of my time. It's all good.
That's a good point, actually. Free drinks, but it costs me $100 to get there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because they're trying to do that thing with my work at the moment. They're like, we've had a groundswell of people who want to hang out together. I'm like, they're the people who don't fucking do work. Just putting it out there. The people that are going, wouldn't it be great if we could all hang out? No, because you're just not doing any work. That's why you want to have it. You want to have a bit of a chit chat. You want to hang out. They want those stories. They want to see old mate pissed under the table and slagging off the boss. I've no interest in that. But the
time I spend in the office, the people who want the most kind of after work arrangements are the ones I see walking around fucking gas bagging all day.
Doing no work. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Even when I'm in the office, no one even knows when I'm there because I just sit at my computer and fucking do work.
Do work. Yeah.
I see some people just kind of wandering around. It's a social event being there, I saw an interesting thing actually maybe last week, and there was a report that came out that said people are actually more productive when they work from home. And all of the comments basically in the chat were like, yeah, bullshit. Yeah, they're more productive at doing their fucking washing. They're more productive at fucking doing nothing. This is bullshit. You need to get back to the office. And I thought, I had two thoughts. First of all, how many of you people work for a commercial fucking redevelopment company for a start?
Yeah. How many of you are managers who own the asset that you're trying to get people to get back into?
That's right.
And you're just stuck with all these bills with no one coming in. Yep.
And number two is, well, that's fucking bullshit because I kind of split it. I'm like kind of half and half. So the time I spend in the office, I see clearly people do less work. It's obvious because they wander around fucking bullshitting to each other all day. Hey, you want to go out for coffee? You want to go out for lunch? And it's like, well, when are you going to sit down? When are you going to do that? I see the same people wandering around all fucking day talking to everyone. It's like, well, what do you do all the time? So you must hate working from home. Why? Because you actually have to do stuff.
You got to do stuff, You don't want to fucking chit-chat to and annoy.
Yeah, it's
Get
incredible.
the fuck back to work. Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Yep. Yeah. So there you go. Nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary.
Another work function missed, Greeno. Fantastic.
That's
stuff.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Our first one where they're like, oh, it's optional, but like we encourage people to go in is next Friday. So I took a leave day just to prove my point.
Nice, Gary.
I'm like, I will fucking use up annual leave just so I don't come into the office. Fuck you. Not happening.
That's fucking fantastic, actually. I'm going to put that in my repertoire. Next time I get one of those invites, those compulsory optional invites.
Compulsory optional, annual leave day, mate. Yeah. Put them up your sleeve. Well, actually, no, I'm not using the leave day because I've rejigged bank holiday. It's bank holiday's Monday. I said to the boss, I'm like, mate, look, I only just got back to work, Like, I got shit to do. Like, can I just, and I've still got restrictions. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm going to sit at home, fucking twiddle my thumbs for a day? Fuck it, let's get some work done, Like, let me come in and I'll take my, like, bank holiday, in inverted commas, at a later date when I'm cleared and I can go fucking play golf or something.
And on a completely unrelated topic, when's the next work sanction function set for?
And so then I'll look at the calendar and I'm like, I'm going to be off next Friday.
Nice, Gary.
I like it. I'm using it. Yeah. So you got to build up those brownie points first if you're going to pull a move like that. Do them a favor by doing it. That's the way.
Well, I've done them a favor. I'm rocking up Monday when it's meant to be my day off, and I'm like, mate, that's all right. I'll come in Monday. We're sweet.
Don't worry. I'll hold down the fort. You guys enjoy your day off. Don't worry. I'll be here. I'll take care of it.
I'll clear out the backlog, and we'll be in a good spot come Friday, and I'll see you guys.
When I won't be there. Yeah.
I won't be there. Very good. Damo, quick muted word of the week, if I can, sir.
What are we muting this week?
Well, last week we muted the word Barbie, but I realised that not everything, there's things that can sneak under the radar if I just mute the word Barbie. So I also had to mute the word Gal Gadot this week.
What? Gal Gadot's muted as well?
Yeah, I had to mute it.
She's not a Barbie type, Greeno. She's too Jewish. That wouldn't work.
But she's the one that did the Barbie movie.
Did she really?
As a byproduct, there's a lot of she's a genius. A lot of Barbie talk sneaking through from the Gal Gadot.
She's a genius for making the Barbie movie.
The Barbie. I saw an interesting stat, if I can.
Genius.
Hit a stat man, if you can, sir.
I'm a stat man.
A bit of a data analysis of the top 10 grossing movies of 2023. It went number 1, existing intellectual property. Number 2, sequel. Number 3, sequel. Number 4, sequel. Number 5, sequel. Number 6, existing intellectual property. Number 7, sequel. Number 8, sequel. Number 9, sequel. Number 10, sequel. That were the top grossing movies of 2023. Something that already existed as a product or a sequel.
It's interesting.
One original idea.
Yeah, look, it's interesting you say. I think this goes beyond movies. And I'm going to put it out there. And I know this gets said probably by every generation, but I really think we are now in a folded. The universe is folding in on of itself, Greeno. And in terms of creativity and stuff, like my wife listens to the radio during the morning, and I kind of walk in and out, and they're playing different songs, and it occurred to me that every single song that I've heard on the radio this morning is a cover.
It's an old song.
Not one. No, it's a
rejigged.
Yeah. It's a rejig.
Yeah.
And I said to my wife, everything's just a cover now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, it really is. And I'm like, there's just no more new song. Every original song has been written now. No one is writing any new songs. And I know people say that kind of shit all the time, but it really is now. Just go out and listen to like a kind of top 40 kind of station, If it's not a complete cover, it's at least like stealing a lick or something from a song. Like there are no new original thoughts anymore. This goes back a long way in terms of movies. Do you remember the rejig of the Planet of the Apes movies, Greeno, that came out?
One with Marky Mark.
Marky Mark was in it. And I'll never forget it. I was watching. He was on David Letterman because we were watching Letterman at the time, obviously when Letterman was still around. And David Letterman was kind of, doing his David Letterman thing of putting shit on him where the guest doesn't really know that he's putting shit on him, but he is, right?
Yeah.
Doing that great thing. And he's like, so you're doing this one again, huh? So you're blowing the dust off this movie, huh? You're doing this one again. Huh? And I'll never forget it. Marky Mark looked Letterman straight in the eye. He genuinely believed it. And he said, look, we're not redoing it. I'd like to think of it as, Greeno, a reimagining. Reimagining the movie.
That movie is an all-time classic. Yeah. Now, you can't, that movie is almost perfect for what it is, right?
Yeah.
There's no way that you can make the original Planet of the Apes movie better. In the same way, when they fucked up Willy Wonka by trying to remake that or reimagine it.
Well, that's it. That's the thing. You can't remake it better, Green. You can't remake it better, but you can reimagine it. And in your reimagination, it's allowed to be worse. Yeah.
Yes, a lot worse.
Hey, we're making a new movie here. We're reimagining something. It's not our fault.
I showed my daughter the Depp version of Wonka because she's like, Dad, can I watch this? Because she loves the original. Like we've watched the original 500 times, and she absolutely loves the movie. She's like, can I watch this one? I'm like, it's pretty crap. It's pretty crap, man. Like, I said, there's some bits that might be a bit scary for a kid. No, they got like the backstory of like the bad dentist and shit.
It was terrible. It was
so bad.
The new Wonka, I remember it took me a few years to watch it. Now, the Lady Boogs is the Lady Boogs probably loves Willy Wonka more than your kid does, Greeno. Like she's watched it 5,000 times, but she's got years on her side. Maybe the little one will catch up.
She's me, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like her favorite movie of all time, kind of.
It's my favorite movie of all time too. Love that movie.
There you go. And I can kind of take it or leave it. I like the songs more than the movie, if that makes sense. But if we're talking musical kind of movies, my favorite has always been Oliver, Greeno, because of the music and the choreography and that. That's my favorite.
The Please Sir, Can I Have Some More, right?
Yes, that's right. You can go, but be back soon. You can go, but bring black plenty. Do not forget this tune. Be back soon. That one, Greeno. Yeah. So that's my more favorite kind of musical kind of movie. But then, so it took a couple of years, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll watch the new Wonka. And I think I just sat there like kind of dumbfounded, like, how the fuck did this get made? You know, this is awful. Like, it's not funny. It's not. It doesn't grab you. It's not engrossing. It's not interesting. It's just shit.
They found a way to fuck up the Oompa Loompas.
It's like, how do you fucking shit. It's just a shit fucking movie. People acted like it was God's gift, but this is the whole thing, right? It's like, when death metal bands do a cover of a pop song, and all the death metal fans pretend like it's good purely because they're just going, Spice World, oh, if you want to be my lover. And it's like, well, you're really not doing anything special here. You're just kind of, you're doing death metal lyrics over the top of, death metal guitar version of a song. But it's not interesting. It's not good. It's not different. It's not creative really in any way, And it was the same thing with this Wonka movie, man. It was just fucking shit. It was just shit. There's no other word to describe it. Shit. And the parade of dick sucks that went around for that thing when it came out, I was flabbergasted. Really?
It was interesting dynamic as well, because it was at that time where it was peak Depp as well. And at that time, Johnny Depp hadn't done bad movies. That was still when he was he'd only just done bad
movies. He'd done bad movies, but he was cute enough to get away with it, Green.
He was able to get away with it, but that was kind of most of the stuff he did was that's another winner. That's fucking solid. No,
Johnny Depp can do no wrong.
It's the What's in Gilbert Grape, it's the Ed Wood, it's that kind of realm. So it's this is going to be good. And there was the beginning of the downhill slide of Depp with the 400 Pirates movies. And
the Pirates movies, the Pirates movie is the only movie franchise that has an equal proportionate value from one movie to the next in terms of how shit it gets. Because if you think about it, most series don't work that way, right? The first one might be really good, and then the second one will be a little bit worse, and maybe the third one's really good, or the first one's not that good. Think of Terminator, for example. I think Terminator 2 shadows Terminator 1.
100%,
right? So Terminator 2 was far better than Terminator 1. People say the same thing about the Star Wars franchise, Greeno. They say Empire Strikes Back is better than the first Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it had a bad ending.
That's it. And, Avengers. So the series, it's never set in stone. The Pirates series is the only series I think that exists where it's an equal value. Each movie that you go through gets equally worse from the previous one. The first Pirates movie was it was cracking. It was a great fucking flick.
Great film, yeah.
It was a great watch, and it was fun, and it was quick, and it was funny. The second one was kind of okay, it was pretty good. The third one was, it's not so good. The fourth one was this is fucking awful. And the fifth one is are they still making these? Why are they doing this? And it just got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. think that third one was where I kind of only got about halfway through that, and I'm like, well, I think we know what's happening with this franchise. That's all done.
I watched the first half an hour of the one that didn't have Johnny Depp in it, and I was like, well, if he's in it. Yeah, I think so. Is it him that's missing, or it's one of the main? Maybe Keira Knightley's not in it, or something. One of the main characters wasn't in it. I'm like, okay, so if they've now taken themselves out of this franchise, what the fuck business do I have being here watching it? You know what I mean?
Not good.
Yeah. Not good. So if they're not, if they can't be bothered making this movie, I'm not going to be bothered watching it. So I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. You know.
Yeah,
and that was the end of the Pirates for me.
Yeah, it looks like Depp's still there in 2017 with Dead Men Tell No Tales, but I think that might be Knightley-less.
And I'm a big, as you know, Greeno, a big fan of Keira. So if she's not going to be around, well, I'm sorry, I've got no reason to be here anymore. Yeah,
it's no good.
Yeah, but Johnny Depp was great in the first couple of ones of those.
It's sensational, and then you could just tell he was trying to pay off some debt as the movies went on.
Yeah, is he in debt? Is he or?
100%, yeah. Big spender, Johnny. He cocks up some bills and needs to get that. A lot of different things. He's a hoarder, apparently.
He's a hoarder. Is he really? Hoarder, like memorabilia and stuff.
He's a collector of stuff, but like random shit, and spends a lot of money. So we'll spend like $12 million on like a dino bone or something.
I kind of like that, actually. If you're going to have... He's the quintessential kind of rock star actor, isn't he? He's got money to burn. He's like, well, I don't care, whatever. I'll just get whatever.
Yeah, like we'll spend $150,000 on a bottle of wine just because it's like vintage.
Why not? Why not? Yeah. And then pour it down the fucking drain. Like, who cares? When the world needs more people like that, because those people actually, we can criticize them, but they actually create jobs, Greeno. They're a big spur of the economy.
They're living the best life. I like it.
Yeah. Someone had to produce that bottle of wine, Greeno. Someone had to be out there picking grapes and fucking.
Someone had to receive $150,000 for it.
That's it. Yeah.
Someone had to cash that check. There's 4 jobs right there.
Yeah. At least he doesn't have to pay any kind of divorce or anything like that, because Amber was more crazy than fucking he is in the end, doesn't it? She turned out to be fucking psychopath. So he got away with that one, I think.
He got out while he could.
Yeah.
Damo, quick story time for Ken, sir.
Please.
I like stories about pinatas.
Mofo Stormfan in the chat, Greeno, said he had to pay off his pistol and boo fines.
No,
there you go.
Do you know about pistol and boo, Greeno?
No. Oh, they're the dogs, aren't they?
Yeah.
That snuck into Australia?
That's right, the ones that suck it. And it was Barnaby Joyce that said we're going to have to put them down, Greeno. Remember that? We're going to have to put the dogs down. I wish they had. They should have just marched them out there in the middle of the runway and shot them in the back of the fucking head with all the cameras rolling. There you go. There's a movie.
They could have done Pirates of the Caribbean style. Remember in that first scene how they had all the skeletons hanging at the front going, pirates will be hung? Yeah. Imagine rocking up.
Pistol and boo hanging there.
The airport, and there's the skeletons. Don't even think about bringing the puppies in here.
We'll have Pistol and Boo hanging by their necks and a sign that says, have you filled out your quarantine card? Yes or no?
Couldn't story time. Something you're going to experience in the upcoming years, sir, is daycare charity events, right? So what'll happen is, like, people try and get in and try and help get some money for charity, and they can do it through daycare. But you get a lot of fundraisers for school, those kind of things. And got a message at the start of the week from my son's daycare talking about, upcoming event. We're sending home some raffle tickets.
Here we go. Some other cunt's asking me for fucking money. Here it begins. That's the way I'd be thinking, Greeno.
That's the way I look at it. But I'm like, look, because we did the raffle tickets once before, and what ended up happening is, like, we flogged them off to family members, and we had to go around, we had to collect money, we had to write their names on it, and it just became a big pain in the ass. So what I do now is I just buy the fucking wad and let it be.
There's 2 ways. I reckon there's 2 ways you can go about that. Number one is just buy the fucking lot yourself and say, right, here's the cash kid. Take it back to school and show them off and say you sold all your tickets in one day and what a genius you are. The other way is probably my preferred option at this point, Greeno, because I haven't had to face this situation yet. But my preferred option would be to say to the baby Booger Bumper baby, well, get out there, get your ass out there and fucking sell. Start selling.
Yeah.
We're going to drop you off at the supermarket, okay? You're going to stand out the front next to the guy with the red and white hat, and you're going to say, would you like to buy a raffle ticket? Step right up, step right up. Who's the lucky shooter? Come on, sir. You look like you've got some disposable income. Let's fucking go. Let's see the money in your wallet. Lay it down. Do you want to be a winner today, sir? You know, let's do it.
I like it.
Earn the fucking money. Earn it.
Money.
Yeah.
I go the first option because it involves annoying people less. So I've gone with option one. I've just bought the wood ourselves. That's fine.
Well, option
But
two,
then-
it's not you annoying them, it's the kid. It's different.
Someone else, yeah. But then I got to drop the kid off and fucking, that's all.
And then everyone's like,
Petty money.
that's the father that made their kid go out and sell their own tickets.
Yeah, exactly. Then you get that stigma. It's so good. So the next day, though, I'm like, oh, we've done our duty. The next day is like, oh, you know, just FYI, you know, we're also doing a pie drive to raise money for the charity. And I'm like, well, oh, hang on, what happened to the raffle tickets? They're like, I know, we're doing that too. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. You pick one.
You pick one kind of fucking contest.
One
and that's
type
it.
of contest.
Yes.
So then the next day, another one. Oh, we got a lolly guessing competition out the front to raise money for the charity.
Three contests now we're up to.
And at that point, I'm like, whoa, no, fucking. And so I had to pull the wife aside, and I'm like, don't you fucking even think about buying one of those pies?
I'd be saying, how about this? Why don't you sell fucking raffle tickets to the lolly guessing contest then, if you want to do it that way? You know, sell raffle tickets to the pies. Hey,
I'm like, you get one crack at me. And I'm only contributing to one. Don't try and don't double it. Definitely don't fucking triple it. Because if I'd known there was a lolly guessing competition, I wouldn't have bought the raffle tickets.
you know what this is like? It's like when you get like a contractor or something over, and it's like you've got an agreed price, and you're like, okay, it's gonna, all right, mate. Look, this is gonna cost you $1,800, all right, to do this job. And you go, no worries, I can handle $1,800. And then he comes back to you the next day, Greeno. And the next day he says to you, look, while we were in there, we discovered this, so it's probably going to be another couple of $200-$300 at least, unfortunately. We've got to do it. We can't even let you live here, actually, unless we fix it. Ah, right, okay. No worries. And then on the third day, he comes back to you again and says, look, mate, I'm so sorry to say this. I really don't want to say this to you, but unfortunately, we found something else, and it's going to be at least another $200-$300. And it's like, I'm not buying pies or guessing lollies or anything at this point.
Not happening.
You had your chance. The first sale, the first fucking quote you gave me, that's what we're sticking to. I bought a whole book of tickets for you, you fuckers. That's what you get. Yeah.
So I was tempted to ask for my $10 back.
I would too.
On my raffle ticket back, just out on principle.
Yeah.
But they're already in, we're already there, so hopefully I win fruit basket. But pointing out
fucking fruit basket. How much did it cost you for the raffle tickets, by the way?
$10, something like that.
$10. Is that all? Really?
That was it. It wasn't too bad. Like the because you can get more, but I'm like, no, one roll is enough.
Yeah, just one book of tickets.
Give me one book, and we'll buy the book, and we move on. It's kind of like, you remember we used to do the chocolate drive, raise money for school. Yep. And what happened is you get to like, you'd sell them to your neighbors and all those kind of things. People want chocolate. That's all fine. And then you sell them to the grandparents and the aunties and uncles, but there'd be like 5 boxes left. And you didn't want to be the kid who fucking went back to school like, there's 5 boxes. So mum and dad would just fucking buy them and you'd smash Maltesers for a week.
See, I was terrible. I would say that I'd sold the chocolates when I didn't, and then I would take money from my parents saying that they were buying the chocolates and spend the fucking money. So no one got no one got anything when I was involved in that. I ate the chocolates and spent the money. So, you know, mum would buy the box and she'd go, how come there's like half a dozen of them missing? And I've got chocolate on my face. And I don't fucking know. Now you make sure you take that money to school. Yeah, okay. And I'd be like, I didn't sell any, you know. Where's your chocolates? I don't know. I lost them.
To be fair, as someone who's known you from like 5
what are you going to do about it? Yeah.
Like, even I know, do not give you the money to take to school. Like why your mum thought that was a smart decision is beyond me. She should have been hand delivering the cash for the chocolate money.
Oh, it was silly. She used to remember we used to have those. She was a terrible mother, obviously. Remember those? Remember that kind of kids banking thing that we had?
Yeah, the Dolomites.
Yeah, the Dolomites, and you used to get $3 a week to bank and learn how to bank. And at the end of the year, they figured out, why don't you have any money in your Dolomites account? And it's like, clearly because I was spending it at the canteen. I was
At the canteen.
wasting it, just buying chocolates and stuff. It's like, well, someone's silly enough to give me money, then clearly I'm just going to go and fucking enjoy it, right?
And look,
Nice, Gary.
I made that mistake earlier this year. Gave my daughter, a nice clean tenner to buy a Mother's Day gift at the Mother's Day store. Because she's like, I want to get something for Mum, I want to get something for Nana. I'm like, sweet, no worries. Like, I checked how much each present was. I'm like, she's probably needs 10 to buy something for everyone. Yeah. She comes home, I'm like, how'd you go? She's like, yeah, I got something for Mum. I'm like, what'd you get for Nana? She's like, oh, there was nothing good for Nana. I'm like, cool. I'm like, where's my change? She's like, oh, there was no change. I'm like, no.
They learn young.
No. What do you mean there's no change? I'm like, she's like, oh, I spent it all on Mum's present. And I'm like, show me what you got her. And I looked at it. I'm like, that's not $10.
Swizzle stick or something, yeah.
Like,
a lot of chopper chop.
I'm like, that is not a $10 notepad in 10. I guarantee it. This is bullshit.
No, it's a special edition Whiz Fizz packet. Like, didn't cost 50 cents. It cost $10. Okay.
So after about 10 minutes of interrogation, she finally like, oh yeah, I think I went to the canteen. Well, that's fine. Like, I didn't give a fuck if you went to the canteen. Just don't bullshit me and tell me that you spent it all at the store.
It is.
Next time I know, I'm only giving you $5.
It's nice to know that the canteen still has that lure over children. Because I was one for the canteen as well. Whenever I got like spare cash, I was like, I'm going to the canteen. I'm going to buy myself a treat,
Get back all things.
Yeah, I guess it's like maybe if you have kind of strict, like the kids who went to the canteen every day would never blow their money on the canteen because it's all the same to them. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But for those of us who grew up kind of like with prepared lunches and you eat all your meals at home and stuff, the opportunity to step out
like once a month max,
at least
I'd be able to get a lunch order or something.
Yeah.
Like
it was a huge day, and it was like today you can get something from the canteen. You'd go to school, you'd be happy all fucking day waiting for lunchtime.
And then you had to do your analysis. You're like, what am I spending my money on this?
I've got $2. What can I get?
Yeah. Do I go maybe do I go a lasagna? Do I go like a pizza? Do I go
a chicken drumstick, Greeno? Like those flat chicken schnitzel drumstick things, Greeno?
Yeah, yummy drummies.
Yummy drummy. Oh, nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary.
So you get a yummy drummy for like say $1, and then maybe a donut for 50 cents, and then I would always try to go like 2 Super Dupers or something.
Super Duper or a pack of Ovaltines. Whatever was available was always solid.
Shit. You want to wash it down though, Greeno. So remember, you could probably get a can. Back then, you could probably get a canned drink like for 50 cents, I reckon.
Yeah, a can of Coke. They still sold Coke at school back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get a can of Coke or my personal preference, a little chocolate mousse.
Oh yeah, little milk, Greeno.
The chocolate milk was always good. Yeah, it was always a winner. So I managed to distribute like my $4 I'd get a month pretty well. Yeah. But you're right, happy day, because you knew it'd be another month before you were getting any coin.
Absolutely.
Canteen.
Yeah. If you didn't have the money, you'd do what I used to do. I used to just go to the supermarket across the road and steal food instead.
Nice, Gary.
It works out the same, kids. If you
weren't buying stuff from the canteen with stolen money, you just go cut out the middleman, steal the food yourself.
Steal the food yourself. That's a life lesson right there. Pro tip.
Yeah.
The food they have in the canteen? Yeah. You can take that yourself, actually, from the shop across the road. Yeah. You don't even have to pay for it if you're smart. Really?
Yeah. Oh, good.
That's it. Sell your raffle tickets.
Yeah, exactly. Damo, exciting times, mate. This segment is going off its tits, the Forgotten Fruit of the Week.
Ah, right. Nice, yeah.
And you want to know, I had a bit of a faux pas without realising. So I was under the impression our boy Stephen Babb had sent through a new Forgotten Fruit of the Week, right? So I've put in the rundown, I've attached the link. Okay. I'm like, look, we are covered for this week for Forgotten Fruit of the Week.
Yeah, I thought we did this one already. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we haven't. We talked about, we were pumping it up for this coming week.
Oh, right.
About how Stephen Babbitt sent through. So I'm like, excellent. It's an American Forgotten Fruit of the Week or Forgotten Vegetable of the Week.
Well, it's not an American fruit or vegetable, but the wording is forgotten American, I think. Chayote. We don't call them chayote. What do we call them? Chocos, Greeno.
Well, they're a choco. I was not aware of that. So I thought we were going to do a new fruit or a new veggie called chayote. But it turns out that's actually a choco as I was Googling it like 5 minutes before the show.
Yeah.
So the good news, though, is firstly, Stephen sent through a recipe, sautéed chayote / choco in butter, golden balsamic, and olive oil. So you
Bit of
spruce it
smoked
up.
paprika, Greeno, as well.
It looks good. A bit of a dry rub on the rack of ribs there
Actually,
as well.
yeah, no. Actually, I'm going to make a dick move here.
Dick.
Now, Stevie Bab has sent this through as, kind of homage to the chayote / choco and say, look how good the choco is. Let's be fucking honest here, Steve. You're not fooling anyone. The ribs is the star attraction of this fucking amusement park, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, you've got plain rice and choco alongside the ribs. Now, I love plain rice, okay? I'm not a fan of choco, but I haven't really probably had it, really, to be fair. I do love just good boiled kind of sticky rice on the side. It's one of my favourite things. But let's be honest here, Greeno. If you're serving up whatever meat you're serving up alongside plain boiled rice and choco, that meat is the star of the fucking show. You could be serving up a piece of 3-week-old chuck steak that's been chewed by the dog in the backyard and throw it on that plate, and you'd go, wow, that's a good-looking fucking bit of meat. That is fucking tasty.
Winner right there.
And that's it. So you're only complimenting the ribs here. The chayote is an offcut. It's an afterthought, With
that said, though, the chayote is never the hero.
It's never the hero. It's never unless you slice it thin and put it in a saucepan just with butter, salt, and pepper. And make it the hero of the dish.
Steve's done his own magic with a bit of golden balsamic on there.
Now, I will say these ribs look fucking superb.
They do look pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a nice looking dry rub.
That is a very nice looking rib. Well done.
But good news though, Steve's on it, because I think he worked out. He was sending that through as the homage to the choco segment.
That's right.
But he got through to us today. Yep. He's gotten fruit of the week this week, lychee. And I'm like, that's a good shout, lychee.
That's a very good shout, actually. All right, let's look up. Let's do our
lychee
thing.
Lychee would only normally be seen, correct me if I'm wrong, in a drink. Now, if I think, and he's like maybe in the early 2000s.
No, I'm gonna disagree with you there, Greeno. I'm gonna say I have seen lychee in like fucking desserts, like ice cream. Lychee ice cream. Okay, so we're doing our thing now. We're gonna go lychee recipe. And on YouTube and see the first thing. Now, Greeno gets a nice Gary because the first thing that shows up, how to make the perfect lychee martini. Okay.
There we go.
Now,
and that's the one Steve recommended. He's
make
like,
this drink if you like lychee.
martinis.
How to make lychee lime sorbet is kind of ice cream.
Kind of ice cream.
Yes. I don't, it's kind of a drink as well, though.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. Okay, let's have a look at this. All right.
Well, I can't see anything.
You can't see. Oh, hang on. Let's get our screen shared for Greeno. All right. Now, we've got some kind of weird lychee gelatin thing going on here, Greeno.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's no good. And there we go. So how to prepare the lychee. Let's look at lychee prepare. Now, I'm guessing you peel the fucker.
Yeah, it's a pretty offensive looking fruit. It doesn't look edible, does it?
It doesn't look appetizing from the outside. And obviously, that's obviously just the skin around it. Yeah. But the inside isn't over. It does look a bit loogie-ish once you open it up.
It looks like something that grows on an alien planet, that lulls humans into believing that it's edible, and then it ends up kind of bursting out of their stomach at a later time.
Yeah, it's kind of like a prank your dick mate would do, where he's like, "Hey, go eat some lychees, man." And make sure you eat it. It's not edible.
Okay, let's have a look at this thing. Wash them before peeling. Okay, peeling looks like opening a golf ball, Greeno.
Yeah.
Peeling a golf ball. It really is kind of contained in its little shell there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's kind of like an evolutionary thing. Maybe too many birds were eating lychees, so they developed these little spikes on the outside. Because once you get past the spikes, it's actually quite supple in there, isn't it?
Yeah,
right,
like
very looks like a prawn or something,
Yeah, but then you've got to deal with the seed as well. So
I got the seed out of there, yeah.
So you're looking at a prickly shell, then you still got to deal with the seed on the inside, and then bang, there's your lychee.
Okay. Squeeze out the lychee juice, Greeno.
Okay, so you can juice the lychee. Good to know. That's important.
Okay, hang on. What are we putting in here? It's a lot of Asian stuff in here.
They're making a lychee jelly.
120 grams of sugar. Nice, Gary.
Nice.
That seems excessive.
Anything will taste sweet with 120 grams of fucking sugar in it. Won't it? Am I wrong?
Oh,
Oh, look, this is a really sweet lychee recipe. Yeah, it's a kilo of sugar and some fruit. And I'm like, wow, that's fucking genius. How did you think of that? You know? Okay, so 120 grams of sugar we're putting in there. Look at all that sugar.
that's a shit ton of sugar right there.
Now, what the fuck is agar?
It's like a gelatin.
Okay, all right.
It's
So we're
Asian
making
gelatin.
jelly. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm using agar powder. You can use other brands. 4 grams of instant jelly as well. Okay.
So you put an instant jelly to make a lychee jelly.
Yeah, with
You
all the
put in
sugar. Yeah, and the lychee
And a shit
juice.
ton of sugar. Yeah.
Now, I don't see. Now, let's be fair here. I don't see any lychee juice here.
No,
I just
zero.
see-
Squat.
Just sugar, Greeno. Just a
And
big
what
bowl
are
of
they going to
sugar.
do? What are they doing with the leftover lychee? Are we just juicing these bad boys?
Yeah, they go in the compost screener, I think, to grow more lychees. Now, what's this? Seaweed or something? Is it? Oh,
I don't know what's going on there.
okay, that is strange. Pandan leaves, Greeno.
Pandan leaves, optional. I'm going to take the option to not put it in there.
Yeah, it looks like a fern, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Once again, this seems like a prank thus far.
okay, cook on low heat until it boils. Okay.
Lovely.
Okay, so we're making jelly basically at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Still
Gonna
don't see
boil
where
the
the
fuck
lychee
up.
comes in, but that's all right.
We'll get there. We're only.
Oh, okay.
Something
There's
like-
there's your used up lychee, Greeno. They're going in the
Ah,
jelly.
Whack them in the jelly. Nice.
Okay. All
And they're
right.
juiceless. So they're going to taste like lychee? I guess they will still taste like lychee, but they're going to be juice
Also
free.
sugar. Yeah, lychee.
Yeah,
and-
sugar.
It'll taste mostly like sugar, I think.
Like you could literally put the lychee in just a big vat of sugar, and that's probably going to taste very similar to
Don't you
what
think-
this agar.
Don't you think she's posing a little bit, stirring the lychees around with the chopsticks here? Come on,
It's
there's
a bit
no
of a
need
wank
for that.
fest. Yeah, that's unnecessary. That's
Yeah.
being pretentious. It's like people who dress desserts with tongs, like little tweezers. Fuck off. I don't want to see it.
Now we
She
got a
needs
spoon
tweezers.
again.
Yeah, gotta get the air bubbles out, mate. Gotta get the air
Okay.
bubbles.
So what? The chopsticks no good for the air bubbles, love? Or
Yeah, good for the air bubbles. Gotta get a spoon for that. Could have used the spoon to move the shit around earlier. I
could have
think.
done that. Yeah, it makes you wonder why you used the chopsticks in the fucking first place, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting. Allowed to cool until the top part of the jelly forms. Okay, now. Okay, water. How much sugar are we putting in here? 60 grams.
What do we have to do? That's 180.
More sugar, Greeno.
That's what we need right now.
More sugar.
We need more sugar in this bad boy.
Okay. Come on. Okay, once it starts steaming, turn it off. Okay, remove the pandan leaves.
Once again, more tongs.
Yeah. Whoop. Some dragon fruit cubes for colour.
Dragon fruit. We fed the kids dragon fruit recently. That one.
Yeah.
That could almost be its own forgotten fruit of the week, I think.
I don't think it was ever remembered to begin with, dragon fruit.
Yeah,
It's not
true.
something that we've really had here, is it?
No, it's apparently
What can you
it's been
tell? I don't
around.
know about it. Tell me, what can you tell me about the dragon fruit that I don't
I've
know?
been told that it tastes a bit pearish.
Pearish, okay? Pears.
Tastes a
all
bit like a pear, and that's about it. That's all the kids said. And it's like, yeah, it tastes like a pear, Dad. And I'm like, well, I'll just buy you a pear.
I'll give you a
Just-
cool little
I
story
like
time.
stories about pinatas.
There's a shelf in our fridge which is the kind of like eat it now shelf. So as things age in the fridge, they move up in our refrigerator. That's our system, you know. The super fresh stuff goes in the crisper at the bottom, and that's like the fresh, good shit. Now, if you go into the bottom of the fridge, just say you want to throw some potatoes into them. Now, I eat potatoes every fucking day, so I'm always going for potatoes. Now, if you go to the bottom of the fridge and there's a bag of potatoes there, just beware if, like, say on the third shelf of the fridge, there's like a bag and there's 2 or 3 potatoes there, use those first because that's the use it now shelf.
Okay.
That's the we need to eat this shit first shelf. And I was in there and the fridge was kind of skint the other day. We were on the end of our grocery cycle, you know, those days when you're making meals. Although you fucking prepare your meals weeks in advance. I don't. I just kind of go to the fridge every day and say, all right, what have I got? You know?
No, wait. I got a weekly menu. So I write a menu. I go grocery shopping for the week, and then there's my menu done for the
That's
week.
far too organized for me. I'm just like, go get a bunch of shit and we'll figure it out as we go, you know? So it got to the end of the grocery cycle and it's like, well, I don't have many options here. So I had a couple of chicken breasts, right? I had half a punnet of mushrooms and 1 onion. And I had some rice and I had some Brussels sprouts. And on the you need to use it now shelf, I had pear, Greeno. Pears, 2 pears. Now, what I did was I just kind of like cubed up the chicken and I put like a nice Moroccan spice on it. And then I thought, fuck it. And I peeled the pears and cut them up into slices and I chucked the pears in with the chicken. Chucked it in. And it's like, okay, we'll see how this goes. We'll see what happens. And
Was this a pot or a frying pan?
Frying pan, always frying pan.
Okay, so you fried off some pears.
I fried off some pears.
A bit of char on the outside. It'll be all right because the sugar's caramelized.
Well, it ended up being like a kind of sweet and sour situation. You know what I mean? So the chicken with the Moroccan spice was very savory and peppery and all that kind of stuff. And even though the pear was in there cooking with it, I just did like thin slices, and it was like little bursts of sweetness that kept coming through.
Did you say thin slices? Did you add a bit of salt?
Did you add a bit of salt, pepper, and butter?
Nice, Gary!
There was butter in there because a good chicken needs good butter, I think, when you fry it up in a fry pan to get it all, nice and soaky. So, yeah, a little bit of pear in there, salt, pepper, pear, chicken. It worked, Greeno. It fucking worked.
Grilled pears are great alongside grilled pork or sausages, but they're even better when served with ice cream, whipped cream, or frozen yogurts.
Now, see, if it works with pork, it works with chicken, because if it works with one white meat, it works with the other white meat.
Yeah, it'll work with the other one. Now, let's have a look at these recipes for a grilled pear. Gather the ingredients. Okay. Cut the pear in half, scoop out the seeds, add a bit of oil.
I didn't scoop out any seeds.
Put it on the barbecue.
No, I didn't do any of that.
Why do people need a recipe for this?
What I did was take my knife and I did a real hack job of peeling it with the knife, because I'm like, I can't be bothered even getting the peeler out for this. This is literally just an experiment on the fly. We're just going to chop up some fucking pear and chuck it in. And then, so I kind of did a hack job peeling it with a knife, and then I just did slices of it and until I got to the core, and I'm like, okay, that's enough, and chucked it in the bin.
Technically, you pulled seeds out. You just never included them.
Yeah, I didn't include them in the first place. So, no, I didn't pull seeds out. I cut the flesh away from the seeds.
Cut around them.
Yeah, that's right.
Like the way you cut an apple.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, no, it fucking worked. And it was definitely a thing. Actually, do you want a quick little story?
I like stories about pinatas.
I nearly sent this through to you today to add to the rundown. The Breville is back, baby. The Breville is fucking back in the Boogie Bumper household.
I like it.
Yeah. So during the day, I'm pretty lazy when it comes to eating. Most of the time, I won't even eat lunch or breakfast just because I really can't be bothered. I'll make myself a coffee and I'll have a cigarette and I just fucking get to work.
That and cigarettes are an appetite suppressant.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So coffee, cigarette, that's enough for me. I'll kick on to work. And, a lot of times my first meal of the day is actually dinner,
Yeah. That can't be healthy, dude.
Well, what isn't? As I take a sip of my fucking red wine, and after the show I'll have my cigarette,
Yeah.
What isn't fucking healthy? Yeah. So a lot of the times my first meal of the day is probably dinner. And, I'm just not hungry really during the day. I'm just not. I'm just working. So I don't give a fuck. But if I'm such a lazy eater during the day, one of the things that I'll do is just I'll get 2 bits of bread. If I've got 5 minutes to chow something down, I'll get 2 bits of bread, throw some cheese on it, whack it in the microwave. Bang. Melt the cheese. I'll fold the bread in half, and then I'll eat those 2 slices of bread with cheese on. And I might put maybe a bit of pepper on it or something. I'm like, bang, there's a meal. I'm done. Happy with that. Now, anyway, the other day, Lady Boogs brings home Greeno out of the blue, and I've been thinking about this for years and years and years. Brings home a fucking Breville.
Nice, Gary!
Toasted sandwich machine. Yeah. And I've been thinking for a long time, you know what I could really do? I actually mentioned to her maybe a month or so ago, I'm like, do we still have every house has a fucking toasted sandwich machine somewhere hiding in the fucking cabinet. Yeah. Every house, even if you haven't seen it for 10 years, it's in there somewhere, kids. Check the pantry, check under the sink up the back where all the cleaning fucking shit is. Yeah, it's probably hidden in the back there.
It's really next to your foot spa.
It's next to the foot spa. And it's like, do we still have one of those fucking things? And she's like, actually, no, I don't think we do. And I'm like, oh, that's a shame. And so anyway, she brings home this fucking Breville. I'm like, you beauty. This is fantastic. Now, my favorite toasted sandwich, this will repulse you, Greeno. But this is,
yes.
Yes.
Is it a baked bean and cheese?
No, definitely not. No. I fucking hate baked beans. Always.
So
have.
do I. But you were like, it's kind of it's like, because I know that they used to be a go-to in the 80s and 90s.
No.
Baked beans in the Breville maker.
Interestingly, that's Lady Boogs' favourite treat in the Breville maker is baked beans. I fucking hate baked beans. The smell of them, the look of them, the texture. I cannot stomach them. Yeah. I hate them.
I can't stand beans in general. Beans, lentils, that kind of texture, that kind of food. I'll skip it.
I can do beans, and the only time that I'll do them is in my chili, Greeno, and I'll throw like some 4-bean mix in there. But I do like one tiny little can in a whole pot of chili, you know?
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah,
just a tiny bit. So you don't even really notice the beans are in there. And then it cooks for like fucking 10 hours anyway. So by the end, there is no texture to the bean. Yeah, it's more for the saltiness of it more than anything else. So, yeah, no, can't stand baked beans. My go-to, which is probably a product of my German upbringing, I realise, because the Germans eat some fucking pretty hideous shit, by the way. And it's a lot of, like, savoury. So my go-to when it comes to Breville is literally just sliced tomato, onion, and pepper on a fucking toasted sandwich, Greeno. That's it.
Nice, Gary!
Yeah, onion, tomato, and pepper. And no cheese. Just tomato, onion, and pepper, and you pack it in there like use a whole onion, you know?
I didn't realise you were allowed to make a Breville sandwich without having cheese in it.
Without cheese. No, it isn't a thing.
Cheese. What's the point?
It's definitely a thing. You just put butter on one side of the toasted sandwich, by the way, not both sides, but definitely you got to do butter on the outside on the Breville machine itself, like you wipe butter.
Yeah, otherwise the shit sticks.
Yeah, that's right. So we got there today, and it's like we're at the end of the grocery cycle, and I walk out to the Lady Boog. She worked from home today, and I was like, you know what? I just had the craziest fucking idea. And she's, what? Tell me about it. And I was actually calling. I'm going to give you a nice Gary.
Nice, Gary!
I'm going to give you a nice Gary. I called on little bit of Greeno inspiration here, little bit of Greeno cuisine inspiration, Greeno. We had in the fridge an old packet of Frankfurts.
Okay.
And I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? Hot dog fucking toasties, my man.
Hot dog toasties. This sounds terrible.
It's a fucking thing, I'm telling you.
It sounds rank.
It is a fucking thing. Bad. No. I know it sounds bad. It is a fucking thing. Trust me. Okay. So all I did was I got Frankfurts, like straight out of the fridge. Didn't have to pre-cook them or anything. It works. My first fear was the toasty machine is not going to heat the Frankfurts up enough. So they're going to be cold in the middle. Trust me, it's not a problem. It's not an issue. Those fuckers come out of there piping, Greeno. Piping. Okay. Now, what you want to do is you want to get your slice of bread. Now, you're going to need to use 1.5 Frankfurts per sandwich, because what you're going to do is cut 3 Frankfurts in half. Yeah. Okay. And then, so you're going to get, on each sandwich, you're going to have 3 halves, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Right, so half a franc, half a franc, half a franc, that's 1. Now, you lay you butter up the bottom side, and you lay your 3 halves of the franc on the bottom. Then tomato sauce, Greeno, a little bit of cheese. Now, on the other side of the bread, where you would normally put more butter, I want you to put some mustard on there, Greeno.
I was going to say,
spread the mustard.
Yes. Correct. Yeah.
And you squish that shit together, you put it in the Breville. Let me tell you, Greeno, 10 out of fucking 10.
Nice, Gary!
Hot dog toasted sandwiches is a fucking thing. And we invented it today. And I said to I gave Lady Boogs like the test. She was the guinea pig for this, Greeno. She had the first ever one. Yeah. And I said, what do you think? And she's like, you know what? It fucking works. It's a thing. Yeah, I had 2 of them. I loved it. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. A free recipe for you today. It literally took 5 minutes to do. Okay. Yeah. You don't have to warm up the Frankfurts in the fucking. You don't have to warm up the wieners in a saucepan or anything like that.
Question though, what kind of Franks are we using here? We're using the shitty red bubble crappy ones.
Easton is good, my man. Easton is good.
All right. It's only getting I think you got to get a quality Frank. Because I feel
I don't
like
know.
if
It's,
you
it's not quality. It's
not
not.
quality.
It's not a quality
I think
dish.
you remember the big tub ones?
No, this is a
Like
working
20
class
francs?
lunch, my man. So
Working class Frankfurt's all right.
working
And
class. It deserves working class Frankfurts.
It deserves working class.
But seriously, just you halve the Frankfurts. You want 3 halves on one piece of bread with.
Yeah.
I want you to give it a generous buttering. Okay.
Oh no, you'll love
Clearly.
that not 100%.
Yeah, generously.
The only other thought
Yep.
I had with it
Please.
is a little side tray of like liquid cheese that you can dip in corners of the
Oh,
sandwich
now we're talking.
as you have a bite.
Now we're
kind of like
talking.
yes.
What about some cheese in a can, Greeno? Some spray on cheese where you can just go
no.
like
I
on
need
the
that
end of it,
cheese.
you know,
I need that cheese liquidy, like a dipping
like
sauce.
a fondue.
Yeah, like a fondue, 100%. I want a little fondue. kind of
Fondue
thing.
hot dog toasties.
Corner
There
of
you
my
go.
Sandwich, yeah, that could be something.
Oh, mate, now you're talking.
I like it.
Definitely, yeah. So there you go. There's a free one for you, ladies and gentlemen. That's a little story
like
from
stories
today. That
about
happened today. That's
pinatas.
fresh off the hot goss off
Fresh.
the press, Greeno.
Hot recipes off the press, very good. What do we do? We're just going to plow through?
Yeah, let's plow through. Should we see the end of this fucking license?
No, yeah,
I
let's
just
have a
want
look
to
at
see
this.
the end result at least.
Yeah, look at this. All
Actually,
this
let's
sugar.
see if anyone else has done hot dog toasties.
I just Googled it. That's what I was looking at.
Hot dog.
There's
Oh.
a Facebook page.
Really? Someone else has already done it?
Yeah, someone's already done it.
See,
That's where I got the idea of the dipping sauce.
Nothing is original ever. Oh, look, here we go. Cheesy hot dog toast. All right, let's have a look. Oh, now this looks a lot better than mine. Okay, now, oh, yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about here. Now, see, I
Yeah,
just did the
solid.
3. So mine looked like just 3 tubes of hot dog in it, but very similar.
Yeah,
to
they've
this.
done thin slices by the looks of it in this particular one.
And I reckon they've over cheesed here.
Oh, that's too much. Yeah, there's about 9 slices of cheese in that bad boy. Or if not 9 slices, very thick chunks have been put in there.
And you know what? They're using more of like a kind of kielbasa or something here rather than the Frankfurt that we would use here in Australia, which is just your classic kind of Frank.
That's
you
because
know?
the Frankfurt we in Australia is so much different to the rest of the world. It's really shit down here. Like real meat is in a lot of the other hot dog. Well, it's close to
I
real meat.
love
you can
it.
get
I
the-
love our Frankfurts. What are you talking about?
Oh, they're terrible, man. Absolutely terrible.
Really? You don't like our
Yeah.
Frankfurts? That's
No,
disgusting.
like,
How unpatriotic of you. That's
Very much so.
That's awful. I mean, if you want the best kind of sausage, anything sausage related, Germany is the best. Clearly,
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I couldn't
anything
agree
German
more.
is the best. But I like our working class. It's the Devon of the Frankfurt world. You know,
It's definitely the Devon of the sausage world. Yeah, correct.
you got to embrace the working class nature of our cured meat, Screener. Now, see, this is too much work already. This is too much work. I'm talking about literally 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes,
Yeah,
3
they've
minutes.
sliced up 400 pieces of Frankfurts there. That's
Yeah,
too much.
This is ridiculous here. What do you think? What do you think? I've got 4 hours for lunch. You know, I can't prepare this. So I want you to, just take 3 Frankfurts, cut them in half, and then you put 3 halves on one piece of bread, 3 halves on another. Make sure the bread's well buttered. Put some cheese. Put the sauce on first. Lather it up. Not too much sauce. Don't go crazy with the sauce.
we don't make that bread soggy.
People make
oversauce.
that mistake, Greeno. They oversauce stuff. I can't handle an oversaucing. I really don't like it. You know, if there's so much sauce that it's dripping and dribbling all over the place, it actually ruins the experience. to me.
Sauce sandwich. Yeah, it's no good.
Yeah, it's a sauce sandwich with a side of Frankfurt, you know. So just put a little bit of sauce on there, not too much, not too little either. You don't want to be dry. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's like that Vegemite spread issue, isn't it? Like it's that perfect amount. Not too much.
There is a god tier ratio of sauce to hot dog that you must achieve, and it changes every single time depending on what mood you're in. But don't over sauce, don't over cheese either. That was too much cheese here. This here
Way
is
too much cheese.
no good.
I'm not going to taste any of the Frankfurt there.
Exactly. You want to taste mostly the meat, and then the cheese and the sauce is just going to complement it. That's what you're aiming for. You know what I mean? And I actually used a grated cheese. This looks like a kind of sliced cheese situation that's used here.
Yeah, they're big chunks of sliced cheese, definitely.
Yeah, so I used grated cheese and just spread it all around. So that's the way you want to go with that. Grated tasty cheese, Greeno, because it's got like a nice high melt point compared to other cheeses. So a nice grated tasty and a little bit of mustard instead of butter on one side of the bread. Okay.
There you go.
Now, I do like what she's done here on the outside of the bread. This looks like a little bit of, I guess.
Butter.
That's just butter.
I don't know if that is just butter, actually.
I think it is,
That's
man.
a
Let's have a look.
lot.
They
That
get
would
to-
be
they
a
get to the
lot of
butter-
butter to get to
They
that.
get to the buttering in a minute. Let's have a look. Let's go forward. I saw him doing
Well,
it.
I saw her doing eggs, though, so I'm wondering if she's put a bit of egg wash on the outside.
Look, an egg wash. This has become a bit of a French toast situation.
Yes, that's what I was getting at. A bit of French toast, Greeno. You know what would be nice on the outside, maybe?
There we go.
Bit of,
It
yeah,
is egg.
there it is. It's egg wash. If you could do egg wash with a little bit of Parmesan cheese on the outside, Greeno, maybe, perhaps.
That could work. That could work.
That could work. It's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and it got me thinking. Now I'm in the mood for all kinds of toasted sandwiches creations. I'm even thinking of going down the track of Greeno, like a ravioli toasted sandwich.
It's been done. Yes, I have seen it.
Has it
It's
been
MasterChef
done?
thing. Yeah. I swear I've seen that on MasterChef when they do the Breville challenge.
Breville challenge, yeah. There's so many options with the Breville, so that's my new favorite thing at the moment.
I like it.
We're going to be embracing the Breville, but yeah, hot dogs, toasties, get onto them, folks.
I like stories about
Get
pinatas.
into them. You're going to love
Very
it.
good.
Yeah.
What are we cancelling this week, Damo? Oh, yes,
What are we cancelling?
I saw this book pop up a little bit earlier in the week in my feed. Co-host of a sporting discussion, AJ Mithen down there in Melbourne. Check out their podcast. I think it's still going.
Check it out.
But he got this book throughout the course of the week, and I'm like, well, this has just got a bit of 80s Eddie Murphy vibes, isn't it? So this is
Yeah.
written by Johnny Warren. Now, you have to,
Classic book in Australia, this one.
yeah, you'll have to kind of fill the people in on who Johnny Warren is, Damo.
Johnny Warren was basically like the voice of soccer/football in this country for a long time. And tragically, I think he passed away just before the World Cup, the first World Cup that we'd made in like 20-something years or something, if you remember.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah,
But he
so-
knew that we'd made it. He just,
Yeah.
unfortunately didn't. Yeah.
He didn't live to see it. And so he was kind of like back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, that kind of thing. It was very unpopular to be like a soccer fan in this country. And soccer in this country, football, it still does have this. It's unavoidable. It's an ethnic sport here, and it really is. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying that only ethnics play it, but like even when you get to club level, all the clubs are like kind of like social clubs for some kind of nationality. Like, you know, Marconi Football Club is in Sydney. That's the Italian social club, right?
Yeah.
Sydney United used to be called Sydney Croatia because it used to be the Croatian kind of social club. Bonnie Rig White Eagles is the local Serbian, social club. So there are distinct kind of ethnic ties to all of our kind of local clubs here. And that's kind of what kept the game alive. It's because all these Europeans were coming over to Australia in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. And at the time, no one really played soccer here at that time, you know? So they started up their own social club so they could play soccer against each other, which is fair enough. But, you know, that kind of stigma was pretty tough. And Johnny Warren, with a name like Johnny Warren, obviously he's not, you know, he's probably not big in the Iviches and the Ivanoviches and the Martonis and the Martinis and, you know, all the people who were playing fucking ethnic football at the time. He came out with this book, which is classically is called Sheila's, Wogs and Poofters.
Nice, Gary!
Because that's what, you know, people would say about people who play football at the time. Oh, they're just a bunch of Sheilas, Wogs, and Poofters who are playing soccer. Because here you're playing rugby league or AFL or cricket. You know, or rugby union. Back in the day, especially. Yeah. So Sheila's, Wogs, and Poofters. So I guess he gets away with it. It's a great fucking title for a book. One, because he's dead. Yeah. But two, because he's actually criticizing the people who are criticizing the Sheila's, Wogs, and Poofters, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably why he gets away with it. Although the guy, let's be fair here, if you look carefully, kind of looks like the guy's doing a Heil Hitler on the cover, Green.
It does look a bit like that.
Nice, Gary!
looks like a big goose step, doesn't it?
Excellent. We've got a double reason to cancel this book, so
Let's
we'll
get rid of
leave
it.
the charge there as we can. I'm doubting it's still in circulation, but just in case, we better cancel it.
Yeah, get rid of it.
Yeah. I want to show you a bit of loser behaviour, Damo. Now, we've been dealing with a lot of loser behaviour during the Ashes where...
Our American friends are going to fucking love this, Greeno.
They are. But we've been dealing with the moral ashes loss that apparently we just endured.
Moral ashes. Can we just hang on? Can we just spend a quick minute on the fucking moral ashes loss?
Moral ashes, 'cause morally,
because this
England won
needs
the
to be
Ashes.
this needs to be discussed. The moral ashes defeat. I have seen English people on Twitter this week legitimately saying Australia may have retained the urn, but we won the moral fight. And it's like, what the fuck sport are you watching, mate? What are you fucking talking about? You're a fucking
loser
idiot.
behaviour. Yeah.
We won the moral fight. There is no moral fight. First of all, you're a bunch of fucking hypocrites and liars for the most part. Everything that you're accusing us of, did you hear that Jared Waitley roast about the morality of the English team?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I think you sent it through. Yeah.
Oh no, Brad, the Earth reporter sent it through.
Yeah.
But there's something special. Jared Waitley, when he's in full flight like that, he just cuts their throat. You know, there's no kind of fucking around, no pulling any punches. He doesn't go over the top. He just goes in for the quick kill. You know, the swift kill.
Does it articulately, though.
Yes, very articulate. And he just articulately waved that scalpel and just dissected them with this. It's like the moral. What are you talking? Like the moral victory? You know, like hang on. You're the guys. You're England, right? You're claiming moral victory here, England. Okay.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about? Kind of thing. Yeah. So here we go again. Now. Yeah. Now, we all know that stats can explain whatever you want them to explain at different times, right?
Yeah.
But this is a new one to me. Now,
well, a bit of backstory. So what happened is, so for everyone who doesn't know, in the way like any kind of Olympic sport and swimming specifically, and when you look at the Olympics tally, how does it go? It goes, who's leading the gold is on top, and then works its way down based on how many gold medals you've won.
Because, sorry, athletes, if you're not winning gold, no one gives a fuck.
No one gives a fuck. Yeah,
that's the way it works.
You can take your 400 bronze and stick them up your ass. We don't care about them. You're a two-time loser.
You won a bronze. You won a bronze medal at the 2012 Olympics. Good for you.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you?
Well done.
Yeah, you're not getting a free coffee today.
Yeah. So for the first 5 days of the World Swimming Championships, obviously the people there at Peacock who were showing the coverage had done it the normal way. So they'd show their medal tally, but the problem was Australia was kicking some ass. So they were leading the medal, leading the tally, because they had 10 gold. You had China with 5, and then you had the US and France there with 3.
Not only are we kicking some ass, mind you, we're kicking some ass against the two superpowers of the world, United States and China. China has over 1 billion fucking people in it. They should be winning actually everything all the time. With the amount of people they have to choose from, all right?
Probably not basketball, though.
All right. We have what, 25 million of us here?
Yeah.
There's less people living in this country than there is in the state of fucking New York, Greeno. Yeah. I think, if I'm not mistaken. We have no right to win anything ever at any time. Yet here we were with 10 gold medals, compared to China's 5 and America's 3. We're kicking ass. We're doubling second place in the gold medal tally.
So at that point, Peacock's like, well, we can't have this because we're down in third. This is looking bad. Fuck it.
Good, yeah.
Fuck it, change the tally. Let's put the total amount up there. Yeah. So
imagine thinking that the swimming fans in America are going to riot or something unless they're top of the ladder. It's like, come on, man, no one's really watching this in the States either, is it? A bunch of college kids, maybe?
Maybe. Oh, no, but people, Americans still love their swimming. Katie Ledecky's still kicking ass. They like following her. Yeah, I think she's the most decorated female swimmer in the world. Yeah. One of the most ever world champs and Olympic medals, those kind of things. So, but yeah, that's just flat out loser behaviour. That if you have to change the halfway, if they said at the start of the coverage, at the very beginning of the coverage, if that's the way they displayed it, I'd be like, no dramas, right? That's just the way they want to display their medals. That's all good.
They changed.
To go 5 days and then on the 6th day to switch the way you do it. That's loser behaviour.
We had to find a way to put the states on top. That basically,
on top, yeah.
That's what they did.
Exactly. So well done. You've
just
got
goes to show too, and tip of the hat to. I'm actually going to give a nice Gary to Peacock.
Nice Gary.
Because people will say, and I've said it myself, that the corporate media in the United States is very unpatriotic. Greeno, they hate America. Well, clearly that's not true because they will manipulate their own tables in order for America to come out on top. You know what? Fair enough.
No,
fair play.
I'm gonna pull you up on that. They still hate America. They just hate Australia, China, and Great Britain more.
Nice, Gary.
They hate America, but they hate losing more.
Yeah, so you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Did you see the thing the other day that my office has a very annoying thing, Greeno, where near the lifts they have like those kind of electronic billboards for newspaper fucking headlines.
Yeah. I get those. We get those in our elevators.
Oh my god, I hate it so much because one of my office days is Monday. I chose Monday because no one else wants to go in on Monday. I'm like, beautiful. No one's going to be walking around trying to talk to me. I can get shit done.
Yeah. So you want?
I can work quietly on my own and get shit done. So, I chose Monday, and as a Formula One fan, as you know, Greeno, I used to be able to watch the races live, but now if you're working, working Monday morning, I'm up at 5 a.m. I get in the office at like 6 a.m. because I start early when I go in the office so I can beat that traffic, Greeno.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I've got to avoid all social media because I can't stay up the night before watching the Formula One until 2 or 3 in the morning, clearly. So I've got to wait till I get home and watch the replay. And I've been caught out once before this year where where I go out for a cigarette, there's one smoking area for the whole building, and you have to kind of go out the front and around the corner, obviously. And when you come back, you go to get in the lift, and there's these fucking billboards with the newspapers there. So I did a great job, once. It was like kind of midday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, sweet, I'm going to go in a couple of hours, go home, fucking crack a beer, watch the Formula One. It's going to be good. And I walk in and I look up and there's the fucking Max Verstappen holding a trophy. I'm like, well, fuck you, man. I didn't ask for this information. Fuck you.
I know you didn't ask for this information, but
you
why?
Could assume it, yeah.
Like, just assume Max has won, mate. Like, just make sure you don't find out who comes second, third.
Correct.
Like, that's all you do. That's what you're doing now. You just know Max is going to win, and then you're like, I just need to avoid who came second and third. That's now what I do. Because, like, we used to, like, the new bet on whatever race weekend is like, well, I'm just going to fucking put most of my bet towards Max Verstappen winning, so at least I know we're going to win a little bit of money, and then I'll put my rest of my money on someone else and
Lance Stroll crashing out, Although he doesn't crash out much these days. I've got to be fair.
No, he's just very disappointing. You sent through that clip to us last week of like
so
how bad
good,
it was
wasn't
Stroll.
Yeah.
And you look into the statistics, you're like, everywhere he goes, he just gets outperformed, not by a little bit, but by a lot by his teammates. Yeah. And no matter who his teammate is, and like the better the teammate gets, obviously the further he gets made to look bad. Like that car at the start of the year, not so much now, was an absolute rocket, and he couldn't take advantage of that, and still is sitting pretty low down in the World Championship, which is
man, I just want so bad. I want so bad for Alonso to win just one more race. He doesn't even have to win a championship. I just want him to win one more race.
I thought this might be his year to be able to sneak it in, but then they've got to come back to the pack, and the McLarens are looking good now.
Yeah, definitely.
The Mercs aren't looking too bad. Ferrari's pace wasn't too bad in the last race as well. So
yeah, Ferrari's got a long way to go.
It wasn't bad, like long way to go, but like they're probably not fighting for wins. But they got a podium in the last race. But so that goes.
Definitely the McLaren though, they've come out of fucking nowhere. They just had some upgrades, and then all of a sudden, bang, they're on podium pace.
There you go.
and there's Danny Rick, in the Alpha Tauri coming 18th. He must be like, are you fucking kidding me, man?
Man, he got that car up to 16th after being knocked out in the first.
Yeah, but poor old Danny Rick, he was always one step too. He was either always in his career choices. Like, let's be honest here. In his career choices, he was either one step ahead or one step behind.
Why would you ever leave?
Okay, so he was either one step ahead or one step behind in leaving Red Bull. You can look at it both ways. Like, he was one step ahead in leaving the team that had Max Verstappen that was going to win 3 championships in a row, or he was one step behind leaving Red Bull because he should have stayed at the team when they would eventually have a car that was capable of winning 3 championships in a row. Then he went to Renault, right? Mm-hmm. Now, it was either one step ahead or one step behind in leaving them, because he was one step ahead when he decided to leave Renault, but then they kind of got rid of the former director and they settled down. And now you look at them with Ocon and Gasly, they've had some really good pace. They've been really unlucky, Alpine. They've had a lot of occasions where they've been crashed out by other people and a lot of shit out of their control. They've had a top 10 car most of the year.
Yeah.
When he was there, it was not a top 10 car. It was not a very fucking good car.
It was lucky to get near the points.
Yeah, so he left, he went to McLaren, and then same thing again. He was either one step ahead or one step behind. He was one step ahead by leaving McLaren, by thinking, Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris are going to make him.
He got fired.
Yeah, well,
McLaren.
You don't blame him either, do you? Like, he was terrible. He was no good.
Yeah, no, he didn't do well at all.
No, Lando made him look like an amateur, basically. But now it's good actually to see that Piastri's actually putting a bit of pressure on Lando. Even though Lando's outperformed him, but Piastri has shown, especially in the last couple of races.
He's right there, a lot closer than what Danny was, what Danny was last year.
Yeah.
It's good to see though, because we've got obviously two Aussies back in there to kind of cheer on, and a couple of guys. I think Jack Doohan won FP2. He's won the last two races. He'll be in next year. He's not far off. And then is there Mansell Kid as well? Apparently, he's an Aussie who's in F3, I believe. Yeah,
Mansell Kid should be British, shouldn't he?
That's what I thought, but apparently he's an Aussie.
Oh, okay.
Mansell. Aussie F1, yeah, because I heard that, big weekend for Aussies, and then fucking Oscar Piastri crashes out on the first lap. F3, let's have a look.
Well, he didn't crash out. What happened is Science pinched him up against the wall. Science locked his brakes up and then pinched him.
Christian Mansell is an Australian racing driver competing in the F3 Championship in Campos.
So Nigel's wife must be Aussie or something, maybe?
Let's have a look here.
Got to be. Why else would the kid be Aussie and Nigel's British? That doesn't make any sense.
Here you go. They're sharing the same last name. He's not related to Nigel Mansell.
Oh, there you go.
Nice, Gary.
That's an unfortunate name to not be related to them, isn't
it? Not be related to, but he's doing well in F3. So
it's like Mark Jordan as an NBA player. It's like no, I'm actually not related. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well,
kids only 18. So we've got a couple of young guys coming through. Seem to be doing pretty well.
Christian Mansell.
So look out for him in F3 races.
Doohan will definitely get a gig because he does have his dad's name, and his dad can just open doors. That's the thing.
Yeah, but he's the goods though. He's legit.
He is. I'm not saying he's not legit. I'm not saying he's not legit, but it takes more than being legit.
It does. Yeah. Well,
he's legit, and two, he gets doors opened, which is a huge fucking.
That's what a lot of it is. Like I remember Mark Webber dominating everywhere in the world, and it was like, when are we get this guy in F1? And he's like, it's a business. Like I don't have the money to kind of get into these particular drives, and it took him.
And in saying that, Mark
6
Webber,
years longer than it should have.
In saying that, Webber was not poor either. He had a lot of financial backing. Webber, like at the same time, so Webber can't cry poor and like, oh, poor me. He actually had a huge kind of backing as well, and it still took him, years and years and years because he didn't have the back. His backing to us would be like, that's a fucking fortune. Yeah. But to other people in the Formula One world, they'll be like, he has nothing. He has nothing.
Yeah. You're only paying for 2 drives with that. That's,
But
thanks for coming.
Jack Doohan definitely, being Mick Doohan, because Mick Doohan can walk into any pit box anywhere in the world and everyone knows who he is, even though he was a motorbike racer. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows who he is and everyone welcomes him in and he gets offered things and he says, by the way, this is my son, Jack. And then that's it. You're in.
Well, there's also some advertising cachet that comes with it, similar to Mick Schumacher when he got that drive with Haas. It was.
I feel sorry for Mick because he's clearly
he's a good driver, but it's just
he's a very good driver, but he's just not. He's not Michael. That's
no one is.
And his poor dad's a vegetable,
Yeah.
What do we know about Michael Schumacher? Every year or two I Google up what's happening with Michael Schumacher. Because I actually legitimately am invested. I want him to be like, is he ever going to come out of this? Because it's now like 10 years, isn't it?
Easy. Yeah, well, I don't think he is. I think this
is it now. He's a vegetable.
Well, he's just he is what he is, and the family have asked hey, just leave us the fuck alone.
So he's somewhere in the Swiss Alps in a private mansion somewhere, getting tended to by private nurses and stuff, and he's on
there
life
was
support basically.
Douchebag paparazzi who, like, last year I think it was,
Really
trying to sneak photos of him.
I mean, it's low ball, but it's paparazzis. What do you expect? They are the bottom feeders.
Despicable behaviour, and I think the family had to come out and, like, we found, like, these kind of people. We had to get security on and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like, fucking, show some.
Yeah,
fucking,
I'm not
like,
interested in that
human
kind
decency.
of.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see those photos.
I do want to know, like, where is he at? Like, because I'd love to see him, like, walk out one day and smile and wave and be on the grid again, kind of thing. I'd love to see
like,
that.
No, 100%. Because everyone kind of was always hoping he'd recover, but it just doesn't sound like that'll be the case, unfortunately.
Not after this long. Yeah.
No, exactly.
But, I mean, is he talking? Is he conscious? Is he? I mean, is he?
Well,
are they just keeping him alive? Like, what's going on? I don't know anything. That's the thing,
There was a doco on I think it was a Netflix one.
It was a Schumacher doco, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the family discussed it as much as they wanted to in that particular one.
Yeah.
It doesn't get a great deal of insight, but it was kind of like, look, just leave us the fuck alone, really.
Yeah, that's tough, man. I don't know about that. Yeah.
Let's talk a bit of America, Damo. Because unfortunately, some of the American sportscasters got a bit confused this week because they're not used to.
You're going hard on the States today, Greeno. You're going hard on our American friends.
When there's this kind of stupid shit, like loser behavior, and then this. So this was Shea Serrano, I think it was. Jimmy
Race.
The
tennis player? She wears a hat so low it hurts tennis?
No. Go back one.
Okay.
Back one tab.
Right, okay.
So this guy's like, Shea Serrano, I think he's maybe works for ESPN. He's just like, hang on, this game's being played at fucking 2 a.m. This is ridiculous. Portugal and US. No, mate. Like,
welcome to our world, you
so
fucker.
people are like, yeah, you fucking idiot. What do you think we have to get up to watch your sports at your time? Not everything is like, surely we could have had a better time for our viewership. Like, get fucked, mate.
I'll tell you a quick little story.
Stories about pinatas.
In my job, I deal with people all over the world, right?
Yeah.
Asia, Europe, North America, everything. Now, I've found various things in my job, and like I'm kind of booking things and unbooking things and checking things, and without getting into too much detail, there's a lot of back and forward in my job, like with all of these different countries.
Yeah.
And like the Asians, I find are incredibly efficient, but they're very uncreative. So, right. So they want to double check everything. They're like that girl in Seinfeld that's like, do you have a preference? It's like, yeah, just fucking do the quick thing, the cheap quick thing that I'm asking you to do. That's it. And it's like, well, what about this? And it's like, do you have a preference? Like, just fucking do what I'm asking you. That's fine. So if you give them clear directions, they're very efficient. They'll get it done super fast, all right?
Yeah.
The Europeans are more creative. So it's like, you can give them a little more leeway, and you're like, okay, so what do you think? And the Europeans will be like, well, I think we can do this and this and this, and this is probably going to be making us more money. And it's like, okay, I like the way you think. Okay, that's great. The Americans are the only ones that I deal with that demand that we do everything their way. That would demand it. And I even mean to the point of like, because I'm dealing in like freight and stuff, they demand that we use pounds and fucking feet and inches. And it's like, no. The whole rest of the world works on this particular system, yet they will just refuse. And it's like, no. This is the way we're doing it. And it's like, who the fuck do you think you are? You know what I mean? Like, there really is there's a kind of arrogance to it, in a business sense anyway, in the way you deal with them. And it's like, no, we use pounds. And it's like, well, so every single time I deal with an American, I always sigh, I'm like, because now I've got to spend the next 20 minutes converting all of their measurements because they refuse to do it in a way that's like internationally known. So I was like, no, you figure it out. It's like, you sons of fucking bitches. And then this is like a prime example.
Yeah.
There's a game between Portugal and the United States. Why is it at 2 a.m.? Because it's not in your fucking country, mate. Okay? It's not your country.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why it's not happening over there. Okay?
Yeah.
Figured it out?
In the morning. Yeah. Well done.
Fantastic. Karen sent me flaccid has just joined us in the chat, Greeno. Since I'm up before the sun, big glass of vodka seems like the only logical beverage. Well, good morning.
Nice, Gary.
Great way to start your day, I think. Don't you think?
Our boy Steph.
Yeah.
Steph, you joined us just as the show's ending, mate. We're going to end with a bit of Shohei Statman from today,
Shohei
Statman.
Statman.
I got a little bit concerned because once again, opening the kimono, I write what we pretend is the rundown on a Thursday afternoon. Send it through to Damo. We get through about half of it, and last night I was very saddened because I had no Shohei Statman. I'm like, and well, what do you mean Shohei hasn't created some form of history this week? This is bullshit.
Probably,
nothing in the rundown. This is unreal. I'm like, slow week for Shohei when he hasn't done something historical. all good, Damo. All good, because today Shohei hit his 40th home run, and that led to a whole bunch of different records that he managed to do. So Shohei has 2 seasons with 40 home runs and 150 pitching strikeouts in his career. No other player has done this in MLB history. So he's the solo person to ever do that.
Yeah.
Then there's another one. So most home runs in a season with 100 plus strikeouts on the mound. Shohei Ohtani in 2021. Shohei Ohtani in 2023.
Just stop. Greeno, just stop. This is too much. This is too many stats. Now, did you send a link? Because I love reading the replies. I think you sent a link for this. Hang on.
Yeah, it's in your DMs though.
Yeah, I've got them. Okay, there's a few of them here. Okay, there's this one.
There's 3 that he did today.
There's three today, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so
I found one, and then as I kept on reading it through, I'm like, oh, there's another one. Oh, I
there's
sent it through. There's another one.
Now, one of them has some of the greatest fucking replies in it. I think it's this one that's like, it's this one. Okay, now this made my fucking day. This thread here.
Yeah.
All right. So Sarah Langs, I don't know who she is. Slangs on Sports. Good for you.
She's one of the best analytics people in the game.
She's one of the good guys, Greeno.
She's one of the good guys. We love Sarah Langs. Yes.
Okay, we love Sarah Langs. Love you, Sarah. Nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary.
Now, this is fucking fantastic. Most home runs in a season had 100 plus strikeouts on the mound. Okay, this is the top records. In 2021, Shohei Ohtani, 46 and 156. In 2023, Shohei Ohtani, 40 and 160. 2022, Shohei Ohtani, 34 and 219. In 1931, Wes Ferrell, Greeno, with 9 and 124. And then I love this, put Wes Ferrell in the Hall of Fame.
Wes for his 9 home runs in 1931. Well done, sir.
Wes Ferrell should be in the Hall of Fame. Because that's the thing. Why does everyone pretend that Shohei is not the greatest player who's ever played the game? That's the thing that dumbfounds me, Greeno. The fact that everyone wants to pretend that Shohei isn't the best that's ever played. I don't get it. Do you understand it?
No. Well, for the most part, I think most people recognize, well,
Well, they don't. Yeah, but they don't want to admit it, though, Greeno. That's the thing.
He's not American.
Yeah.
That's why there was such a big suckfest last year over Aaron Judge hitting 61 home runs. They had to make up a record for him. Yeah. Oh, he's going to break the record for American League home runs. I'm like, what? Like, that's not a fucking record. Like, you don't just have random league records now. You're making shit up. There's one home run record. It's like 70 by Barry Bonds.
Here's number 40, Greeno, by the way.
But he drives the swing to right field.
Look how far that ball goes and how high it went. That was like a quarter of a second from the time he hit it to the time it hit the wall.
Yeah,
it went out
flat.
like 107 kilometers an hour or miles an hour. There we go. Exit velo, 106.7 miles an hour. But the launch angle was only 23 degrees. So he's hit that ball 23 degrees in the air, flat as fuck, at 107 miles an hour. Bang.
Fantastic stuff.
And fun fact though, Damo, Angels lost that game.
Yeah, well, they tend to lose more than they win, don't they? Well, not lose more than they win, but they lose more than they should.
They should, yeah. But the Mariners hit a grand salami in that next inning, and
the little bit of reading I did on Shohei this afternoon in preparation for the show, most people tend to think, well, he's going to re-sign for the Angels again because otherwise they would have traded him. Well, that's the vibe I've picked up on. It's like, well, why wouldn't you trade him then when you could get more value?
It's kind of the opposite mentality. The owner knew that if they traded him, there were no chance to re-sign him. Whereas if they kept him and showed they could build a winner quickly around him in the last year, maybe they had a chance. Because if he goes to a team that's in the playoffs and he's like, well, this is great over here. Why haven't I been wasting the last 5 years over there in the Angels? This is ridiculous.
That's fair.
So that's why they didn't want to trade him, because they're like, well, that's just going to
take
away any chance.
We don't want to give you a taste of a successful ball club, okay?
Yeah,
we want you to keep you here.
That's happened with a bunch of different players. Mookie Betts, who's like one of maybe the top 5 players in all the game, got traded to LA, and the next year he's like, this is fucking amazing, and signed like a 10-year contract.
Yeah. Right.
He's like, that's really good over here. Like he like Boston, he had a great time as well. But yeah, he's like, oh, this is all right.
I like winning. This winning stuff is great. I'm enjoying it. I saw a lot of people saying Shohei Ohtani does everything humanly possible to get the Angels to win, and then all the pitchers and the owners do everything they can to make them lose.
Exactly. He gave him an extra bit of cushion here. He gave him a 3-1 game. You're like, excellent.
And then they fuck it up.
All you got to do is just not give up
lose.
a 3-run homer. Nah, okay, we won't. We'll go up a 4-run instead. Well done.
Fucking poor old Angels. They've got the greatest player who's probably ever played the game, and they don't know what to do with him. They don't know how to win with him. Imagine having the best player who's ever played and not knowing how to win.
And the second greatest player as well.
Yes,
they've got the 2 best. It's really
they can't even make the playoffs, let alone win them.
Yeah, well, Shohei in his Angels tenure has never played a playoff game.
That's so sad. That's so sad.
It's massively sad. Mike Trout, who's been with the Angels, I think he debuted in 2011 off the top of my head.
Yeah, I was going to say 10 years minimum, at least.
Yeah, he's at least played over 10. Has only ever played in 3 games and never won one in the postseason.
See,
years.
Hate stories like that. Like, you want to see the best players playing in the biggest
postseason.
games.
Yeah, agree.
You know,
agree. But baseball is one of those weird sports, though. Like, it's not like the NBA where
everyone gets a shot.
If you're LeBron, or that as well. But like, if you're a superstar, you're making the postseason. You might not win the championship, but all it takes is one really good player to get a team. They can win 40 games.
To be fair, in basketball's defense, you've only got 5 players on the court at any given time, so your influence over the game is 20% minimum. Bigger. Yeah. Minimum 20%. You're in baseball, you're probably only playing like 1 in 2 kind of thing, and then you're subbed in, you're subbed out, you're rotated.
Well, it's not even that. Like, you can be the best hitter in the game, but you're only getting 1 out of 9 at bats. You know what I mean? So they can pitch around you if you're a good player.
They walk you off. Player,
we'll just intentional walk. And like Shohei's doing both, but he only pitches once every 6 days, so he can only influence on the other side. So that's really the case. We want one more. Should we do one more show stat man before we go?
Please, let's do it.
I'm a stat man. Shohei Ohtani is the first player with a home run and a stolen base in a game he started as a pitcher since Mudcat Grant on May 7th, 1964. And this is why Sarah Langs is the best, because she could find these weird random stats. Mudcat Grant in 1964. So there you go. We need Wes Ferrell and Mudcat Grant in
Wes
there
Ferrell.
in the Hall of Fame.
Mudcat Grant in the Hall of Fame, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Retire his number. It's got to be done. All right, that's it. We've got no plugs. Send in your forgotten fruit/vegetables of the week.
Yes.
Many suggestions, because we're running out.
So what have we done? We've done choco /
chayote.
Chayote, yeah.
Yep.
We did lychee tonight. We covered lychee.
We did turnip last week.
We did turnips. Okay, so turnip, choco / chayote, and lychee. They're all off the table now. So
off table. Don't send us those.
Yeah, so you're going to have to come up with a different forgotten fruit / vegetable, and that'll be our segment for next week. So
next week,
yeah, I'm sure the blockheads will go crazy. I'm sure they've got some crazy shit in Vietnam, Greeno, we've never heard of.
Oh, yes. Now we're talking.
Vietnamese forgotten fruit. Who knows what those fuckers are on to.
Send it on in. Yeah. I'll put that. That'll be start of segment 1.
Fantastic. All right.
All right, guys. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
We'll always be bosom buddies, friends, sisters, and pals. We'll always be bosom buddies. If life should reject you, there's me to protect you.
If I say that your tongue is vicious,
if I call you uncouth,
it's simply that.
Who else but a bosom buddy will sit down and tell you the